Hey Virgos, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your general reading here. A couple of announcements though before I get into your meditation. So, firstly, I've opened up some availability for personal readings. Yes, at the moment I do have limited availability within a relatively small time frame, but I did want to make sure and offer you guys some personal reading availability going into the new year. How to sign up, all the information is over on the website, which is listed in the description box below. And I look forward to connecting with you guys personally. It's always a lot of fun. Also, I've opened registration for Be Your Own Intuitive course. The first round went so beautifully last year, and I'm really excited to do the second one. So all of that information is over on the website as well in the description box below. And I look forward to seeing you guys over there. Okay, enough of that. Opening monologue over. Let's talk about your meditation because I saw swans. Swans. It's interesting though, because I saw like the word Virgo, and then I saw a bunch of vines and branches and leaves grow out of it. And then I was taken, if anyone has seen The Notebook, the film The Notebook, it doesn't matter if you haven't, I will take you there. But it was like a mashup between The Notebook where Noah and Allie are in that little rowboat and then all those swans are afoot, but it's like they're in this like lagoon. And then I saw the Little Mermaid scene where Will and Eric are in the lagoon with all of there's something about the lagoon. That's my dear for y'all Virgo, but all of this swan energy, there was this image of, because by the way, swans equate to the star for me energetically in the tarot. So that is very much about self-esteem, confidence, relationship with oneself. I feel like in this context, traditionally speaking, it's about, divine hope, divine love, faith and intuition, and spotlight, attention, focus. So it's really beautiful energy there, Aquarius energy. I also saw this really interesting energy of, let's think and speak about January briefly, right? What is January? Well, January is a, agreed upon time where we all think about, in terms of New Year's resolutions and what we want the next year to be. And there's a lot of thought around that. And then I saw this image of you as the Virgo collective being activated by that in a way and going, oh, I feel, because I'll be honest, I feel like you guys moving in for we're more of in a place of, some of you more than others, some of you to different degrees, whatever have you, in different contexts. But some of you guys had come into a state of flow and contemplation where you're like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to rest. I'm just going to be where I am. I'm going to think about things, but I don't feel the need to force a hand right now. It's where I'm going to just kind of be where I am and go from here, right? It didn't feel like a time of like hypervigilance, which is interesting because I see you guys in this month in January going, I feel tempted to my old ways. Like I'm seeing like a bottle of alcohol, and I'm seeing like this old trope of like someone who has, quit drinking, right? And then they're looking at the bottle of alcohol and they feel tempted towards it again. And it's that moment of choice where you're like, am I going to do things how I've always done them? Or am I going to embrace this, new energy that I've been in that has been serving me, better, but that is less familiar. And so because it's less familiar, it's less comfortable to me, right? There's something about that for you. And I saw you glitching every time you try to do things how you used to that didn't lead you to where you want to be. And I want to say this to you as well. And this is coming up a lot in the readings for January, which is it's not about why you don't have what you want. It's about what's keeping you from it. What is keeping you from becoming a vibrational and energetic to what it is you want? That is the question. I feel like the swan coming up for you in this context too is very much about looking at your reflection, because the swan is about that, mirrored image, and the star is about, especially the star in reverse, is very much about self-confidence and how you see yourself. I feel like that is at the core of the energy for you in January, and allowing it to be a time where you do some reflection work and you do look at yourself, but not just looking at yourself through a normal or, through any old lens, looking at yourself under the lens of the starlit energy and going, who am I in relationship to, divine love, to being the great creator that I am? If I'm running the show, and I know you Virgos love that sentence. No shade, all love. But if I'm running the show, because it's true, you are the curator of your own life. And if you are running the show, then you are in a position to make choices based on, what is in your highest and best good that's going to lead you to what you want. And for you, I feel like it's February, you're being asked and called and invited to curate your decision-making process, right? Are your decisions based on old modes of thinking, past pain, trauma, patterns, thoughts of, lack of self-worth? Or are they based on intuition? Are they based on your feeling? Are they based on trust? If time and money were no object, if you truly believed that everything was going to work out for you, what kind of choices would you make? That's the question. All right. Let's see what your animal energy is for you, Eddie. Oh, I love it so much. You know what? I'm taking 2 because you guys are like halfway through this round and everyone's gotten 2 cards and I just feel the need for 2. So 2 to start off. Anyway, let's do it though. Look at how fabulous. So we have the otter here. Let me tell you something. The otter is one of my absolute favorite animal energies. It equates to the 6 of Cups, which is very much about childhood, nostalgia, lightening up, having fun, and being in the moment. Just like children are our greatest teachers around what being in the moment really looks like, right? They're not worried about the past. They're not worried about the future. They're just in the moment. They come from a place of play and allowance. I'm obsessed that this is your energy for February, right? Again, it's about making those decisions from a place of trust, right? Children are trusting. It's that sweet spot before the world gets its hands on them and they start to work on them and they start to, experience deceit and lies and disappointment and all of this that they grow into adults. You know what I mean? But it's this childlike place of like, I believe that anything is possible. I believe that I can be anything I want to be. And that was part of your meditation. So I'm obsessed that it's coming up for you here in the animal energy with the otter, right? The wolf. God, I love the wolf. The wolf is such a, water and earth here as well, which is really beautiful. The wolf equates to the Hierophant in the tarot, which is everything being exactly as it should be, right? But it's also like a more uniform energy, like whereas the Justice key is more about everything being in balance and fair. The Hierophant is a more traditional, structured approach to things. It's Taurus energy, right? It's a fellow earth sign. Wolf energy in particular is about following your instincts. And we were talking about that in your meditation as well. Wolf medicine also speaks of putting the needs of the pack before your own needs, right? But there is this specific energy here where I feel like you're being called. I feel like what this is saying for you is allow yourself to embody the energy of the otter. What does that mean? That means being in the moment, coming from a place of play and trust that everything is going to work out for you and then create from there. And treat that state of being like it's your job. The Hierophant is very much about, like I said, a traditional way of things, but it's also sort of a regimented approach, which I feel like you guys can, kind of relate to and appreciate as a Virgo, a regimented approach. Because let's talk about the benefit of that. The light side or the benefit of a regimented approach is results, reliable results, accurate numbers. So commit to this state of being and trust like it's your job. I like it. While also looking into your instinct, right? It's really lovely. I'm hearing night vision. Night vision. Some of you guys are either going to be waking up at night, up late. There's something about the moon night vision. You might have some sincere clarity in the darker hours. Interesting. All right, what's going on? Ooh. I just got shivers all over my body. Body. Are you kidding me? Did you just get the star? All organic like. When we were talking about the star in your meditation. I was also just talking about the nighttime and night vision and can we just take a moment to appreciate and receive? Well, I already talked about the star, didn't I? Divine hope, faith, love, your relationship to yourself, self-confidence, self-worth, the reflective surfaces, right? The lighthouse, right? This is really beautiful. You are really in for a beautiful February here. I do feel like it's going to be what you make it. If you can resist the urge to kind of return to and I say this with complete love, and it is a very human thing to want to control things or know what's going to happen before it happens. If you can resist the urge to think along those lines, the better time you will have and the more you will receive. Okay? I'm obsessed. There's also something here about, because the pearl and the oyster, The pearl, first of all, the pearl is created through a defense mechanism by the oyster, because this is foreign particles trying to get into the oyster, and the oyster defends itself and thus creates the pearl. So it's interesting here that it feels like the best parts of you, or your unique abilities, gifts, your perspective, how you really feel, what you really want, these best parts of you, you're being asked to share them and bring them out into the light, actually, or underneath the stars, the illumination of the stars. What are you particularly good at? What do you really love to do? Maybe it's something that you used to love to do as a kid, that you either forgot about or told you weren't good at, or you'd never make money at it. Think about that. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to make that into a career, but it could hold a key in terms of, engaging in that activity that returns you to that place of childlike, in the moment wonder and trust, that really works within your energy in a way which opens it up and allows you to become a vibration to what you want. Okay? A to the B to the C. 1, 2, 3. All right. Woo! Just got the star. I'm all about it. Oh, God. Oh, okay. 8 of Wands. I can't with this. Upward movement, ascension, messaging, inspiration, insights, offers, contracts, letters, facts and figures. This is a lot of good. This is also, they say Cupid's arrows of love. But I really feel like this is about you within yourself and how, the steps that you take and the choices that you make, honey. It's like if you follow this advice, right, it's going to lead you here. Upward movement and ascension, where you're suddenly going to be a vibrational magnet. And a lot of this is going to come to you, Virgo. It's going to be, if you stop trying to go towards it, control it, figure out what's going to be next, what's going to happen, making those plans, you're being asked to just be in the moment and enjoy thyself, and it's going to come to you. And then it'll be time to move. Remember, the wands rule the realm of the actions that we take. Also rule the realm of what we are passionate about, and artistry and creativity. The horse also represents freedom as well, freedom from restriction. You're entering into such a beautiful time. It feels really, 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 really nice. And I also see this image of just hang in there a little bit longer, because the star also, again, Aquarius energy, we're entering into Aquarius energy. Where it starts in Aquarius. So I do feel like that's a special nod that this is going to be a particularly auspicious time for you, even more so based on the choices that you make or don't make. Whoa, that's really weird, because I was just thinking about Capricorn season, because I was like, wait a minute. We're going into Aquarius season at the end of January, which means that Capricorn season. Okay. Anyway, because I literally just thought, I need to wish Capricorns happy birthday when I film for Capricorns, and then we have Capricorn popping up in your reading. So this is the devil energy, Capricorn energy. I want to point out here, traditionally speaking, this is about the 3D things, right? The things that we can see, touch, feel, hear. This is money, right? The sensual, the physical experience of life. In a lot of ways, it is the complete opposite of the star, right? This is the ethereal, the faith, everything that is, more spiritual in nature. And this is everything of the lower realm, the lower chakras. And I don't mean that as a qualitative thing. I mean that as quite literally. Do you remember when I was talking about avoiding the temptation or the trap of, reverting to how you used to do things? I feel like, this is the path, I'm looking at the potential here of the successful move forward around that and finding freedom from a lot of the rigid thinking or the worst case scenario thinking or the limited thinking, or it's like your mind is allowed to burst wide open, and it lands you in this place where you are feeling quite grounded in where you are. There's also this sense, I'm getting a feeling from this too. So this is a lynx or a bobcat here. I'm really drawn to this because of the oyster as well. Because remember what I said about the best parts of you, allowing them and exposing them to the starlight, bringing them out from hiding and into the open? The bobcat also speaks of secrecy and deception. And I feel like there's an aspect here where you are being called to, it's something about revealing more of who you are, how you feel about something, or leading with what is individually you. That feels very liberating, because I'm really drawn to the rabbit here. So rabbits represent fear. They also represent fertility, but they represent fear, like a 9 of Swords energy, right? And I'm getting this image of you quite literally eating your fear for dinner, but in like an empowered way, not like a, disempowered way. You're eating your fear for dinner, and you're finding such freedom because and within that empowerment. It's really cool. Okay, star. Oh my God. Ace of Pentacles. Is this not like Virgo's favorite key? Ace of Pentacles. This is big money, big opportunity, big idea. Look at the parallels here. This is a boon from the universe. This is it coming to you. This is you being set up for the long term and the long haul, doing work that you love, that loves you back. This is you feeling grounded in where you are, happy in your home life, and feeling like you have everything you need and more. Need I say more is the question. This is exactly what we were talking about. You know, the ace energy, hold for sound. You know, the ace energy is the penultimate energy of the given suit with which it resides, right? Within which it resides. So remember when I said it's about it coming to you, when you say spirit, take the wheel, right? And then it's able to come to you because you're not seeking to control. You are in the moment. You are becoming a vibration to what it is you want. And then it's coming right in towards you. I feel like there's also this, remember when I said, like in the night, illumination ideas, I feel like you're going to find some great clarity, some big ideas, some big excitement in the night hours or in meditation or in the darker mode. Like there's something about that. Really cool. Illumination. 8 of Wands. Oh God, are you kidding me, King of Pentacles? Are you joking? Are you serious? This is the richest king there is, darling. I mean, look at this, Virgo. Look at you. All over your reading, empowered and finding your ways. So King of Pentacles, oh God, this is like another level. So King of Pentacles, I love the grapes on his blazer. So the King of Pentacles is very generous, but he also wants for nothing. He has absolutely everything that he needs and more. He understands that the more he's grateful for what he already has, just like his queen, right? The more he's grateful for what he already has, the more he manifests to be grateful for. The King of Pentacles came up from the otter. The path to the King of Pentacles is an otter medicine. Being in the moment and trusting that everything is always going to work out. Thinking, allowing yourself to think outside of the confines of time and money. You ever find yourself thinking of like what you might like to do or love to do, or thinking of a life ahead of yourself, and then you find yourself thinking, oh, but that's not possible, I'm too old, or that's not possible, I don't have money for that, or oh, that's not likely, you know, blah, 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 blah. Can you engage in magical thinking? Oh, I'm obsessed. Yeah, the pathway to the king is through the otter. I'm so obsessed with this. This is like having the kind of money and you know, good fortune where you're able and happily able to share with others, right? The King of Pentacles, you know, he donates. He donates to all the charities and funds and Kickstarters, okay? Yes, that's what he does in his off time for fun. He finds charities and good causes to donate to. Devil. The Kickstarter King. That's what I'm going to start calling him. The Kickstarter King. Okay. Ooh, Knight of Cups, wish fulfillment. Hey, yeah. So Knight of Cups with the Devil. Are you serious? Knight of Cups, this is very much about engaging in work and being with people that you love and see you for who you are. Guess what this is telling me? It's just like a good friend of mine says about, you know, shark medicine. It's the message I'm getting with this. Abundance lies on the other side of fear. Can you imagine a reality in which you love what you do, it loves you back, and you make more than enough money doing it, and your work never feels like work, but feels like play? Interesting. Interesting food for thought. Can you engage in that thinking? And it's not really magical thinking, but I'm going to frame it that way for the purpose of illustrate a point. But that's what it is. Can you engage in magical thinking, fuel it with intention, and allow it to manifest for you as you remove all blocks to it? A big one being fear. Abundance lies on the other side of fear. What are you particularly good at? What are your gifts? What do you do where the time flies? You're going from the otter, which is a 6 of Cups, and graduating to the Knight of Cups, where you are aware and informed and grounded in. Your emotions are balanced. Your intuition is working for you and not against you or at you, right? And you are engaging in activities and people and relationships and modes of thinking that, you know, activate your emotions in a really healthy and balanced. You know, I do feel that there's some heart pain here. I do feel it. They say that the best way to, feel better if you're having a difficult time is to be of service to others. I do want to say that for a group of you guys. It's a beautiful perspective. I also feel like that there is heart pain here for you guys that's being asked to be, released. And it sounds a bit dramatic, but have we met? Be killed off. It's like, it's that heart pain that wants to really come forward and go, hey, this is keeping you from becoming a vibration to what is really good for you that wants to come down the next corner or down the next pipeline, right? Heal this. Allow it to be healed. In order to heal things, we first have to face it and admit it. Okay? I feel like you're also being called to release things that didn't work out. I feel like this has come up for you before. Release dreams, people, places, things, aspects of you that maybe didn't go the way that you planned. There's this sense of disappointment or failing to meet expectations, whether they were yours or others or someone else's idea of what your life would look like. Something about that. You're being asked to really release it and step into what is best for you, because the joy within that will supersede any regret or disappointment or pain. Okay? Abundance lies on the other side of fear. What oracle shall... Let's do this one. Let's do shamanic oracle. This book has come up for another sign as well. There's a book quite popular at the moment. It's called The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. It's coming through for you as a book recommendation. The book is very much about, the choices that we make and really embodies the truth, which I say all the time because it's one thing that I know to be true, that we are our choices. Okay? Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Okay. There is no right or wrong. There's only the choices that you make, really. Oh, okay. Lightning. Why did I just want to say Liza with a Z? Lightning with an L. Lightning, this very much speaks of points of inspiration, big ideas, and those moments where something becomes illuminated to the point where it can't and won't be ignored, nor will it be easily forgotten. These are big ideas. These are marked moments of change. This is kind of like a lighter tower energy where it's something is illuminated to the point where you're oh God, I get it now. I see it now. Again, this is really going back to the star energy here as well. Do you see the parallels in the color here? I'm also really drawn to the indigo color here, which is the color of the third eye chakra. Okay, it's also here as well. When you're, it doesn't matter if you're into the chakra thing or whatever habit it's coming up. So when your third eye chakra is blocked or it's not being utilized in whatever way, shape, or form, and it often has to deal with you being unwilling or afraid to see the truth of things, see yourself, going back to that swan energy of looking in the reflective surface. There's a reluctance to see clearly or see the truth of things. And usually at the core of that is fear or some sort of, anxiety that you won't be able to handle what you see or you won't be able to unknow what you know, right? That is coming through for you. I do feel like your advice here with the lightning is to, just like the lighthouse. It's a very positive energy, right, on one hand. Allow the lightning, allow it to be the source of inspiration of what happened. Remember I was talking about nighttime revelations. Allow this stuff to come through for you and then, allow yourself to be still and open and in the moment long enough to receive it and then also see it for what it is. Don't discount it. See it for what it is. Now, what do I mean by this? What's an example? Let's say that you are out taking a walk one starlit evening and you're looking up at the sky and you're taking a walk and you're contemplating life. You're thinking about how good that spaghetti was that you had for dinner or whatever have you. And you're looking up at the sky and suddenly you have a memory around, when you were a kid, you were really obsessed with, puzzles. And whenever you did puzzles, time flew and you just would not stop doing puzzles. And then as you started, growing up, you had more schoolwork, you acquired friends and you forgot about the puzzles. But you're starting to remember and you're going, oh God, and there was this one puzzle. What was that puzzle? It was like a puzzle of the rainforest. And I was so obsessed with this puzzle. Where is that puzzle? Oh God. And so you have a choice in that moment. You can either discount that and go, oh, well, that was a funny memory. Moving on. What am I doing for work tomorrow? Or you could go, wait a minute, that is some inspiration. There's something in that. It is not a coincidence, because there are no coincidences, that came into mind right now. What is the information in that? Do I still have that puzzle? What was it about that puzzle that I was really drawn to that made the time fly? Why was I so good at it? Is it the ability to see patterns really well, or see inevitabilities, or whatever have you that other people maybe can't as well? God, I'm really good at that. How can I translate that into my own life? How can I use that skill set to help me get what I want or get to where I'm going? See where I'm going with this? If you open yourself up to the truth and reality that there are no coincidences, you can take moments like that and allow them to be a source of inspiration and guidance for you, because that's what they are. Okay? Virgo, this is stunning and gorgeous, and I love it. Starlight, star bright. So this was your very general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated with him for you. If so, please do let me know in the comments below. I love reading your comments so much. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.